This is our second in the driver's seat, and it's this, the Honda Element 2007, slightly different from last year's model, originally seen in 2003, and it was based off the CR-V. Dennis?
You know, the thing about these utilitarian vehicles is just that. They try to be all and do all for all the consumers. This little vehicle, with the addition of the four-wheel drive system from Honda, really does take a good stab at being just that. We're going to take a look inside at the intuitive idea behind the seat packages and the interior, but first, let's get under the hood.
Once you lift the hood of this Honda Element, you can see the 2.4-litre four-cylinder engine. Now, I believe there's an increase in horsepower from last year.
There is 10 horsepower up from last year, up to 166 horsepower and 161 pounds-feet of torque. More importantly than that power increase is the real-time four-wheel drive system and the ability to take that power and put it on the ground. We've talked a little bit about how this vehicle can be utilitarian to the potential buyer, but the reality of it is it's not going to be a rock crawler. It can, though, go up to the mountain with the confidence that you can get through the snow or maybe down a slight fire road to do some camping. And we'll get to a little bit more of that when it comes to the interior and how you can use that space. Four-wheel analog brakes with four-wheel discs are standard, and front and rear sway bars keep the car planted and poised on the road. It really is a nice dichotomy of how the fact that it drives like a small little compact car. It was and is based on four-wheel drive technology from the CR-V, but yet has that big back end to be able to put your camp gear in. Now let's take a look down the side of this vehicle. When you take a look around the new Element, you know, the thing is in the front is you really see a lot of the Honda Ridgeline. Now, this vehicle came first, so I guess you see the Element in the Ridgeline, but it has that kind of square, blocky look to the front. It's the way the whole vehicle is designed. I have to mention that they did one of the best things they could have done to this vehicle is get rid of that body side catting. There was that wrinkly finish in black. It looked okay on the black ones, but even in this orange, which I'm not a big fan of, it really kind of split up the vehicle too much. Now, they've left it on the side and the top, but more about functionality is what Nick has to say.
Now, these doors are interesting. It's clamshell doors, and they open quite a long way. Look at that door, it's about 80 degrees there, and the back, of course, the clamshell. Now, I'm a big fan of clamshell doors, particularly for the reason if you have kids, there's no way the kid can get out of the back or open the back door if the front door isn't open. A couple of other things about the vehicle I don't like. This back window actually just pops open there, and it doesn't actually go down as it would maybe in a normal car. Very square back end here, and still this plastic on the top, but good utilitarian type of vehicle.
Yeah, overall, you know, it's got a good look to it. It's definitely individual, but again, it has some shortcomings. Now that we have the clamshell doors open on the Honda Element, let's take a look at some of the things in the front of the interior. Easy to read and easy to use gauges. Of course, all the controls for the HVAC and the steering are all there and easy at hand. And again, a nice sounding stereo with AM, FM, CD, and optional satellite radio. The thing about the in front of the interiors too is this, big open space. It always feels like you're in a much larger car, but in the back, it feels even larger.
Now, the things I like about the back is the seat configuration. You won't believe how many ways you can lay these seats flat or put them up. In fact, you can lay the front seats flat and the rear seats flat to make yourself a large double bed. And if you want those rear seats out of the way, you can actually fold them up to the side of the vehicle, giving yourself a large station wagon.
It really does show that this vehicle is exactly what it's intended to be. It's a lot of vehicle for a lot of different buyers, and it shows that Honda has a hit on their hands.
So now we've taken a look around the outside of the 2007 Honda Element. Dennis, give me two things you liked about it and something you didn't like so much.
Well, the first is obvious to me, at least, the value. You get so much wrapped into the vehicle for $23,000, including the all-wheel drive system. The other up for me is the fact that even though it's a smaller vehicle, there's tons of room for a guy my size. I'm 6'2", I'm 240 pounds. Guys that are even bigger than me will find a comfortable seating position in this vehicle. The downside is from the outside, it's kind of this odorless, tasteless, no personality type of look. And I know that the orange paint helps that to some degree. For me, that's kind of the weak point in the new Element.
I'll tell you about the two ups that I have about this vehicle, and they are: the interior is actually so easy to clean. You can actually take a hose pipe. It doesn't take you 3 hours to clean this car once you've been up to the woods in it. The other thing about it is there's so many options on the inside. You can do so much with it. I think it's a really useful vehicle. The bad side for me of this vehicle is the fact it is really weak. I'd like to see a little more meat in this vehicle and a little more styling. Maybe a little more mail.
Oh, some bling bling maybe.
Bling bling would be good.
The 2007 Honda Element 4-wheel drive EX comes standard with 166 horsepower, 2.4-liter dual overhead cam, 16-valve engine with IV-Tech technology. It has a base price of $23,110 with an as-tested price of $23,705. EPA ratings for city miles per gallon is 21, and highway miles per gallon EPA ratings is 26.
Here are the guys that make miles around possible. The Russ Auto Group, Baxter Auto Parts, Northside Ford, Ray Reese Dealerships, 4-Wheel Parts Performance Center, Grand Prix Imports, and J. Lee's Auto Group. Thanks, guys.